position that you can say is political.
All right.
So
Veronica,
Trevor,
I want to clarify what you...
Yes, I want to get this very clear, and I will repeat it. If you go right now to the Catholic Church to look for what Mackenzie has done,
yeah,
you'll be looking for right answers in the wrong place. Are we together so far? That you cannot now go to find the problem of that Shakahola cult within the CITAM church, within the evangelical church, within the PCA church. You will only find it in Shakahola. After studying what this man was doing, who was he working with, why was he not uncovered much earlier? And I am admitting this is such an atrocity of a high level, Trevor, that we cannot now trivialize it by starting to say that because in your neighborhood there is murder, the best we can do is to now come and start a goose, a witch hunt around the neighborhood without concentrating on where the offense is committed, who is committing it. I am actually just saying that your brother may not answer to things that you did yesterday in his absence without him knowing where you were and what you were doing, what you were consuming. Yeah. I am saying you take the battle right at its doorsteps. Stop putting attention elsewhere where maybe you'll be wasting your resources and energy. Yeah. They can only help you to see a perspective that what makes their institution so sober and so different that they don't generate 100 people killed and buried in shallow graves and children taken away from their families separated and disunited as they pursue something that is in the guise of religion. And I'm also saying this, let us also separate so that we don't confuse people. What is religion and what is a cult? Because the conversation where I'm seeing us not getting anywhere, if we don't identify what exactly the problem is, we are not able to map the problem itself.
The problem, Maina, because nobody seems to be able to decide which one is religion, which one is a cult, which one is a proper church, because this was done.
So let me ask you, Trevor.
The belief that they are going to have.
I want us to use, this is a very sophisticated person to have escaped the intelligence, to have escaped family, to have escaped neighbors, to have escaped the chief, to have convinced all those institutions to keep quiet as he operated 7 years in Shakahola Forest, holding a property over 800 acres. Yes. Obija, you're not dealing with an ordinary criminal, by the way. You are dealing with a very sophisticated scheme that you might even require other investigative abilities, like the ones that are being deployed in Texas, to understand the thinking of this man and his network.
But the people went there
to chat. That is why I'm saying, if today you go to the PCA church to look for the answers of this massacre of Shakahola, you might not find it immediately. You will only approach the PCA, the Catholic, and the other institutions to help you now come up with something that improves the space of worship.
So shouldn't there then
and
be
to
a
avoid.
template?
So, but what I'm saying is this now. If you make now the Catholic Church to defend itself on the Shakahola massacre, I will still repeat even tomorrow, you are wrong. Because what you should be doing is let's unearth Shakahola. Let's understand Shakahola. Why it went so wrong. Because we are not saying the same about the ACK Church. We are not saying the same. But the problem now I'm seeing is this, Obinja. The first thing that our colleagues started to do is to start to say this man was seen in State House. How relevant is that to the 800 people or the 100 people
because there were different leaders who were going there.
No. Let me even tell you. They even used, let me tell you where the malice is. They even used a photoshopped picture to drive a narrative, Obinja. And this is the one I'm saying. On such a serious matter of serious magnitude, don't mix. For once, let's be serious about the incidents. And let's discuss the incidents as it is. Senator Sifuna, I know sometimes you have those outbursts in Senate, but I've seen Trevor really gets you on good tone when you are here in the morning show. So you must allow it. to suggest that, because what is aimed at, his statement is aimed at something. His statement is aimed at saying such leaders like such people like Mackenzie have been encouraged by politicians and politicians within a certain specific divide. That cannot be so far from the truth, cannot be anything near the truth. It's very far from the truth, Trevor. And I have said once again,
Trevor,
let cameras be added. No,
You'll get a chance to respond.
With you, Senator Sifuna.
You'll get a chance to respond.
Senator Sifuna, I have not interfered with this time. Let me just finish. And I have said as I started, we want more cameras there. We want understanding of all the facts.
Okay.
We want to know why children were involved in this.
Yeah.
We want to know why sensible people like ourselves would accept to sell our property, go into a forest, live in the forest until you are starved to death. We want to know what drove those people towards that thinking.
All right.
Yeah.
I wanted to wind up on this topic, but I have to take a quick break. I'll come back so that we continue with this for a bit because we have a conversation that also happened in the Senate.
You need to allocate time equally because